What's going on, people? Welcome back to Premzy TV and welcome to the launch of 30 Mins Arsenal with my guy Harry, a show we're looking to bring to you every week. You get me? It needed to be done. It needs to be done, and it's got done. What are you telling me, Harry? You good, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm feeling the vibes like Benny Blanco, mate. Like Benny Blanco.
You know what? Yeah, it looks like you got your tactical analysis board up at the behind you as well, bro. Is that what's going on before every game?
But it's proper village, man. I got all this. The board's from China. Obviously, this is from the UK, yeah. But oh, mate, it's proper village stuff. But I love it. It's my dream, mate.
No, it's good. It's good. So, people, I just want to let you know this is going to be a regular occurrence. Obviously, we are going to try to keep it to 30 minutes, hence the name 30 Mins Arsenal. We do want you to get involved. Make sure you smash a like on the video. Go and check out Harry as well on Instagram, Twitter, and everything. He's got his own YouTube channel as well. So if you understand Japanese, feel free to go and check it out as well. You know what I mean, people. But look, Harry.
Yeah. It's all a part of gobbledygook, mate. But seriously, it's 6 o'clock in Japan. You know, most people are asleep right now. I'm not sure how many of my people, the Japanese lot, are going to be awake. But yeah, I'm just buzzing, mate, because we're going to be talking Arsenal full throttle, man.
Yes. That's dedication. It's 10 o'clock here. It's 6 o'clock in Japan. This is what Arsenal Football Club does, people. It connects you from all around the world. You know what I'm saying? And it's the best feeling ever, especially when you're sitting pretty at top of the tree. You get me after 19 years. It's a mad thing. But look, Harry, let's dive straight into it. Reiss Nelson, there's talks that contracts are going on and progressing well. Arsenal are looking to keep Reiss Nelson at the football club. What's your thoughts on that, first of all, bro?
You know, he's given us the goods when the shits hit the fan. Whether it's been the Fulham performance, whether it's been that goal against Bournemouth, he's given us the goods, I think if you're looking at a graph, he's still going up. Obviously, we're going to be in the Champions League next year. Some people are debating on his quality, but I think the lad's got a lot more to give us. However, on the other side, some people are like, sell him off, maybe 20 mil, 25 mil, just do it. I'm on the side of having him with us all the way. What about yourself, man?
I'm all for it, Harry. I'm all for it. And the reason why, because I was at the game, Nottingham Forest, at the Emirates, where we pumped him in 5-0. Reiss Nelson was the catalyst for changing that game. Saka came off injured.
And everyone... That was a Forest game.
Forest game,
yeah. Sorry, I said Fulham. Apologies. Yeah,
Forest, and he came on. He got the goals. He changed the game, flipped it on its head, and he brought that real character and talent that we thought he had growing up. Because what people seem to forget is Reiss Nelson was our first kind of youth prodigy that was coming up through the Hale End, and everyone was excited about him. And then as soon as Saka and Martinelli kind of come into the team, he kind of got like brushed to one side. A few injuries, people forgot about him. But for me, Reiss Nelson, I think he's got a lot to offer. He's got a lot to give to this team. And we need them young legs in the team. We need a player in the team that's not going to be kicking off and having a hissy fit when he's not playing, but he's willing to put the miles in training and come good when he's asked upon. And I think you can't really go wrong with that. How many other players would you say you can bring in for Reiss Nelson at his age? He's cost us nothing. You know what I mean, Harry? And do the same kind of job, know the club, know the manager, know the players. It's going to take time for people to settle. So personally, I think it's going to be a good move for him. And I just hope and pray that in the Champions League, if he is called upon, he can deliver the same kind of goods. People comparing him to Jadon Sancho, Harry, when he was growing up.
The most important thing is, right, he plays on the right and he plays on the left. In comparison to Martinelli and obviously Saka, what does he give the team, And it's not the same qualities that Saka gives or that Martinelli gives or that Trossard gives, and that's the most important, And he's still young. I mean, everybody knows how pacey he is. And the fact that he understands the Arsenal philosophy, the Arteta philosophy, I think that's the most important.
And we've got to keep giving these players chances and opportunities as well. Look, we've been wrong on many fronts. When it's come to the likes of Granit Xhaka, all of us are saying, let's get rid of him. Let's sell him to Roma, 13 million or however much it might be. But look, Arteta's stuck with him. He's kept him. and it seemed to work as well. You got to look at the players like Ramsdale that we didn't believe in. His works. Ben White, we were humming and hawing about. He's come in, his work. Tomiyasu, nobody knew who Tomiyasu was. This guy's come in and he's a machine. So we do got to give him belief. Eddie Nketiah as well. I was on his chops, on his case. Gabriel Jesus got injured and he stepped up to the plate. So if Arteta wants him, I'm all for it. 100% all for it.
I mean, there's so many qualities of champions in the squad right now, right? Because it's 38 games plus Europe and whatnot. And it's not going to be a one-man team. Every single person, and this includes people coming off the bench, right, needs to step their gear up and step into the limelight and do their thing. And we've managed to be able to do that for 31 games effectively. So 29 games, excuse me. So it's a team, man. It's a proper fucking team. I just want to big up the good old Tomiyasu, man. You know, it's such a pity. It's such a pity what happened with that freak injury with his knee, man. You know, it's usually his calves which get busted. But you saw what happened in that game against Sporting, you know. We'll talk about Saliba eventually too. I think it was a blessing in disguise. Obviously, you guys have talked over and over that we're not in Europa anymore. But man, he is so desperate to play. Yeah, hopefully he'll be back before the start of next season.
It's a big loss. It's a big loss. No matter how you look at it, it's a big loss because, especially for this next game, funny enough, against Liverpool at Anfield, we've seen Arteta deployed him as a left back against Mo Salah when they came down to the Emirates earlier on in the season, and it worked a treat. And now we haven't got him in now. We've seen with Rob Holding, Saliba being out. Rob Holding's kind of our only option at centre-back in that right-sided centre-back. We got Kivior, but I don't think he's ready for Arsenal, ready for the Premier League just yet. And it takes away the option of pushing Ben White into the centre-back position and giving Tomiyasu the right-back position. I think the only thing that we can the only thing we could be glad about is that the only thing we've got to concentrate on is the Premier League, where if we were still in the Europa League, then I think it would affect us a lot more. But I think with Tomiyasu, his character, his likability around the dressing room, I think he'll be still very much involved within the squad. Might not be playing, but I'm guessing that he's going to be still doing what Jesus done in and around the team and stuff like that.
And he's got a great connection with Arteta too, and Arteta trusts him. You know, Arteta's a man who always bigs up loyalty and hard work. And Tomiyasu, there's no play in that. That guy goes to sleep, 10 o'clock every evening. He takes care of his body and is always in conversation with his own body to try to take care of it. So yeah, he'll be back. He'll be back stronger.
Make sure you drop him a few DMs and that, and give him some encouragement. You got the Japanese connection going on there. You know what I mean? But look, let me quickly answer this. What part of Manchester did you grow up in? I grew up in a place called Moss Side in South Manchester, very close to the old Man City Stadium, main road. The reason I'm an Arsenal fan is because my dad, just in case that's your next question, he's from London. He's an Arsenal fan. I've grown up becoming an Arsenal fan. But if I wasn't an Arsenal fan, maybe I could have been a City fan, considering I used to walk out my front door and it was just on the right-hand side of me. But look, at the end of the day, it is what it is, people. But look, let's move on to William Saliba now, because potentially progression is getting made with his contract talks. We've heard Arteta. Have we got a Saliba shirt as well?
Yes, this is what I'm talking about. Of course we do. Of course we do, mate.
I mean, this is what I'm saying. I think William Saliba, since he's come into this team, he's just set the tone right from the back. I mean, for so many years, we haven't had a solid partnership at the back. We might have had one decent defender, and then the partner next to him has been shaky or made loads of mistakes consistently. But the thing is, he's young, he's hungry, he's big, he's strong, he's quick, he reads the game well, he takes his time on the ball. He's a massive loss. There's talks saying that Saliba might be out for the rest of the season, and also they're not trying to let all the Arsenal fans know because they don't want Arsenal to panic. However, I don't think it's that case. I don't think it's that time. I think he might potentially miss the Liverpool game, but he's been out for 3 weeks already. That'd be 4 weeks. I can see him coming back sometime soon. What's your thoughts on the whole Saliba contract situation first, Harry?
Well, do it, man. It's right up there, along with getting Saka's contract done too. I think the whole Arsenal contingent, or the Arsenal kind of fan base around the world, is worried shitless because there haven't been any announcements. It's just difficult with the back, being a guy coming from sport yourself, Premsy. You know that with hamstrings, you can set a date. 3 weeks, maybe a month. With a broken leg, you can set a date, 6 months or 7 months. But with a back, it's very, 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 it's a sensitive area of the body that you can't kind of completely say it's going to be 3 weeks or 2 months. Now, as a guy, I think the qualities that you just said, he's quick, his decision making, his physicality, but it's also his humbleness, which is a good factor too. And the relationship that he has with Gabriel, you know how they were at each other's throats and kind of getting really pissed off after conceding a goal, even if they won or not, that kind of fiery but professional relationship we have not had at centre back for a very, very long time. And he's a rock that we need. But you got to big up Holding and his hairline too, mate. Don't forget about Holding.
Yeah. Holdini, what I mean? You know what? Yeah, I was on the Best of the Rest show on Saeed's channel yesterday, and me and Monts are going a little bit back to forth because obviously he was saying Darwin Núñez is going to be getting at Rob Holding and whatnot, but you can only go off your last couple of games. And Rob Holding, I understand as Arsenal fans, we'll be lying if we say we can't improve on him, because we can improve on him. However, since the Man City game, the first 45 minutes of that game, for me, he played very well, matched up to Haaland, for me, the best striker in the league. For the last 2 Premier League games, he's looked composed. He looks like he's part of the team, and he hasn't given anything away. I'm confident with Rob Holding. I think this is a Rob Holding that needs belief. The moment we start putting it out there and start being too worried about it, and other fans start slating him, it can get to a player, and we need every single player in our team right now to be at their 100% potential. And I think with Rob Holding, this is going to be a different Rob Holding because he's around different players as well. He's around much better players. He's got Ben White on the right of him. Now he's got a Ramsdale behind him. He can shout and give him orders. He's got Gabriel, who's a man mountain next to him. He's looking good. Thomas Partey in front as well, where Rob Holding off the past, he's been next to Mustafis, he's been next to Socrates, he's been pushed from pillar to post, Koscielny at times. I think we got to give this guy a bit of optimism and give him a chance.
Totally. And you've got to see the connection he has with Ben White too, You know how Holding always goes on about Ben White after the games and waxes up on his Instagram, saying Benny, Blanco, whatnot, yeah? I think he's got a very, very tight relationship with Ben White. Now, obviously, comparison to Saliba, he hasn't got the pace. Has he got the physicality? Has he got the air domination? I think he's better in the air than Saliba, to be honest. And if you see Ben White's positioning in relationship to Saliba or with Holding, you see he kind of stays back a bit. He's not like, boom, as he is when he's got Saliba behind him. Because usually what happens is the defensive line and the back, because they know they've got the pressure, they've got the pace of Saliba. It's like it's always up here, you know what I mean? Yeah. And they strangle the opposition. Now you can't do that with Holding, because if you've got Zaha and let's say against Crystal Palace, but he did really well, or anybody with ridiculous amounts of pace, could be Darwin Núñez. You can't push up over here. But
God, get that board into some use, fam.
Even if he stays over here, Benny Blanco is always roaming around here instead of down here. God, this is so village.
No, that's good. That's just what we need. I'm gonna end up getting
you get what I mean, right? You get what I mean.
100%. I hear what you're saying. I think hopefully Saliba signs his contract, because that's going to be the most important thing for us. I think he will. I think he's got a new song. He's loved. You could just see that he's happy. He feels at home. And obviously, he's had a lot that's gone on in his life with the passing and so forth of his mother and whatnot. He needs a place to feel home and call home. It's not too far from France. He could fuck off there whenever he really wants to. Do you know what I mean? Private jet and all of that. So I think this is the place
he feels at home. You can see it, you know. You can see through the celebrations of the goals. And if you compare those goals at the beginning of the season and now, you know, he's properly in there. It used to be Cedric Suarez who used to be like, you know, running towards the scorer, but now it's Saliba and Ramsdale on occasions too. So, yeah, he's tight, man. He is in tight with Arsenal a lot.
Well, look, we got a comment here. As a Madrid fan, I think Holding will be fine. Arsenal fans should focus more on Puel's high line, similar to what we did with Rodrigo and Vinny, and consistently feed Martinelli because Trent is there open. You know what? I totally agree with that, but I have a funny feeling that Gomez will play instead of Trent for Liverpool. I think what Klopp's done over the last few games, he's rejigged it about. Obviously, we might be thinking he's been giving these players a rest for the Arsenal game. But as you know, Liverpool can't really afford to rest anyone because if they just drew that game against Chelsea, they couldn't really afford it if they wanted to try to clinch a fourth spot finish, which is unlikely. But if they really wanted to push for it, you'd see the best players. I personally think Salah got a rest due to Ramadan and him fasting, opening his fast at 7 o'clock. The game kicked off at 8 o'clock. That means the whole day he would have just been starving and not had no water or nothing. I think that could have played an impact in that particular game. But Liverpool, we'll quickly touch on them first because that's the next game now. It's kind of segued into Liverpool. So we'll talk on them. Anfield, we've not won there for 11 years, Harry.
Yes.
You get me?
Massive
change.
Opportunity, mate. And I'm confident about it, man. This isn't the Liverpool we're talking about 3 or 4 years ago. There are massive gaps in the defensive line too. The intensity, Fabinho is not what he used to be. Obviously, it's not a team as much as in disarray as in Chelsea. I'm looking at the squad. However, you know, this is going to be the biggest chance of us battering them at their own playground. I mean, you touched on Gomez, but I think the weakness is that gap in between Trent and who's the right centre back? Is it going to be Konate usually?
Normally it's Konate and Matip, but I'm sure against Chelsea, Konate was playing a bit more on the left-hand side and Matip was on the right. I might be wrong, but it's going to be one or the other.
There's going to be that gap, man. You remember that first goal against them with Martinelli, you know, how I think it was Odegaard who put Martinelli through and it was the quick fire goal at the Emirates. I can see something similar happening. However, I've noticed, you know, ever since not that Bournemouth game, but you know, after we lost against City and that draw against Brentford, you know how we've gone into games not full throttle, if you see what I mean. We've not all guns blazing. We've kind of taken it easy in the first half, and then ratcheting up the performance in the second half or at the end of the first half too. So I don't think it's going to be like, you know, counter-attack after counter-attack after counter-attack, you know, Martinelli and Saka bombing down from the word go in Anfield. What's your take?
Do you know what? It's one of them where I am confident. I don't think we're going to be winning 5-6-0. I don't think that's going to happen. No. I think Liverpool are better at home against the big teams than they are away this season against the big teams. But for me, key is going to be that early goal. If we can get that early goal and get a control of the game and dictate the game, then we should be in a good position to win that game. I think if the longer it goes on at 0-0, then the more the crowd's going to get up for it, the more ascendancy Liverpool might end up getting. The one thing we're being fantastic at this season is managing football matches. Now, that's what we have to bring to Anfield, because for me, if we got to win this league, we got to go and beat Liverpool. We got to make a statement. We've been proving so many people wrong this season, going to Tottenham, going to certain grounds, United in form, coming to Arsenal. We've been getting over them hurdles. Now we've got no room for error. We have to beat Liverpool, because worst case scenario, we lose to Manchester City. If we beat this Liverpool side, that is a poor side, even though they spanked United 7-0, I think that was just a bit of a freak result on that day. If we go there, we get the 3 points, walk away, it'll be happy days. I think that will set the tone for us then for the rest of the season to go and clinch that title, because I'm only trying to put positive vibes out there, Harry. Get me after
Listen,
19 years.
yeah,
I'm telling you, I'm going to pull my hair out. All of my hair is going to get pulled out if we win the league. I'm telling you now.
Listen, mate, we've been under the pressure since December. Every single game, I get banter from all my, my United or City fans saying, "Oh, you're going to trip up against Palace. You're going to trip up against Bournemouth." But we've given the goods. We've given the battering out, man. And especially the last game, how City absolutely destroyed Liverpool 4-1. Everybody expected us to drop points. No, we win it 4-1 too. I think this team, regardless of how young they are, and God, it's such a young squad, the amount of maturity that's there, and the unity that's there, and the determination that's there, we will do it. I am very, very confident. Obviously, it's not going to be easy. To be honest, the Newcastle game seems more of a threat than I reckon than Anfield. Especially how they played against United the other day. But yeah, I'm very, very confident, man. Yeah.
Like I said, if we can get over the line at Liverpool, look, I don't think City are going to go throughout the rest of the games winning every single game as well. I think they will drop points and get a few draws here and there. Even us, we could potentially go to the Etihad and win that game. I'm not writing us off for that game, you know what I mean? But we all know what kind of machine Man City are at home. So sometimes you got to be a little bit realistic and try to maybe plan for points maybe getting dropped here, points maybe getting dropped there. But look, we're gonna talk on the title race now and talk on the teams that we have got left. Just before we do so, let me just answer this question. Premsy, do you think Arsenal can go far in the Champions League next season if they make the right signings? No team in the world is really impressive. You know what? I think we could. I think if we get over the line and win the Premier League title, I think it will give the boys confidence and belief to then go into all the different competitions, the big ones, and really go and grab it by the neck. Because what everyone's seeming to not realize as well, these boys are going to be a year older, a year more mature. They're going to have a year more chemistry than what they did this season and last season. The force looks like it's only going to develop. And we have made smart signings. Trossard coming in, smart signing.
Best steal of the season. Totally.
You know what? He's getting a 2-minute segment here as well, Trossard, because he deserves it. He absolutely deserves it, yeah. This guy, since he's come into the team, Harry, most assists, you get me? Every time he gets the ball, left or right. I said it before, it reminds me of Santi Cazorla.
Yeah.
We've missed a little magician on the pitch for us like that. What do you take away from Trossard's performances this season?
Oh, he's a total magician, man, He's got the Harry Potter skills, and he's got that low center of gravity with incredible core strength to just kind of wriggle and wiggle and jiggle his way through difficulties. And my God, that goal with Jesus, against Leeds, he's got eyes in the back of his head, man. Now, how the hell did he realize the exact positioning of Jesus, He's just been a quality, fantastic signing. And I'm going to say this for sure. I know you're going to feel it too. He is a million times ahead of Mudryk, regardless of the potential that Mudryk has, man.
No, he's clear. He's in the prime of his career as well. And that's what
How many assists, man? 7 assists.
7 assists, yeah. And he's got a few goals behind him as well. Is it 1 goal, 2 goals, or something like that?
Yeah, and that disallowed goal too. I forget who it was.
The technique on that finish.
What a finish. However, mate, against Liverpool, we've got this. We haven't had this for such a long time. Who we're going to play now? It's
just like question. Christopher saying here in the chat. Front three guys. Who you going with? Trossard has been as good as Trossard has been. I think Jesus has to start. But do you know what, bro? Trossard, he scored a hat-trick at Anfield, didn't he?
Yeah, it's true.
So he might give him something to think about. And you got to think, say, if we did see, because it's too much to think about. I swear down. I was going to say, if we bench Martinelli and play Trossard, we can then bring Martinelli on with players tired, 20 minutes to go, rampage. But at the same time, Martinelli is one of them that he's a fast player. He's the one that's pretty much always getting the early goal in the opening minute. So it sets the tone for the rest of the game. It's really, really struggling with that. But we're going to have to just trust in
I'm pretty sure.
Arteta.
I'm pretty confident, and I think we're going to bet on my balls. It's going to be Jesus and Saka and Martinelli, man. Yeah.
It's going to be. I think it will be.
Yeah.
And Trossard's not a bad option to come off the bench if something's not quite going our way, someone to try to make something happen out of nothing. And also, as soon as he comes on, he'll put a little bit of fear into the Anfield crowd after seeing what he's done to them previously. So it's good options and it's good problems to have, something that we've not had for such a long time. You get me? I was going to say, do you reckon there's a chance that he might go there and play a bit pragmatic and maybe play Jorginho and Thomas Partey?
No.
Because
I don't think so, mate. I mean, Jorginho knows his game, yeah, but I think intensity-wise, we need to boss the midfield.
They've got a shit midfield as well, Liverpool.
Yeah, well, to be honest, I can see where you're coming from, because the intensity that the Liverpool midfield has is negligent these days, isn't it? There's no. I mean, even the Everton midfield looks a lot more confident and looks more kind of robust and intense compared to the Liverpool midfield. But no, definitely Partey is going to be the man in the 4-3-3 slot. Yeah.
No, it's got to be. You know what? Christopher touched on a good point here. Trossard will be needed when we're playing against low blocks. Liverpool play a high line, so Martinelli is key for me. And you know what? Bang on with that. You know what I mean? He'll get in behind and he'll just absolutely frighten motherfuckers. Excuse my French, but that's exactly what's going to happen.
Frighten motherfuckers.
Look, Harry, we've got now, these are the games. Liverpool away, West Ham away, Southampton at home, City away, Chelsea at home, Newcastle away, Brighton at home, Forest away, and Wolves at home. I think that's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
9.
No, 5 out of the 9 is away games.
Okay, yeah. I see
Obviously, we have a good record away from home this season, which gives us a bit of confidence. Do we have the bottle to get over the line, Harry? Talk to me.
Of course we do, mate. We've been waiting for this for such a long time, and it's a different team, man. There's so much unity in there. Thank God we don't have Europa League. The boys can recover. And they look sharp, man. They look sharp. With Europa League, this would not have happened.
Definitely.
I'm so confident.
I'm just, the only couple games I'm worried about is the Newcastle away game. I'm shitting myself. I'm not going to lie, Harry. I go to Newcastle away all the time. I know what the atmosphere is like. I know how hostile it can be. And after them as well, they've had a good performance against West Ham today. They beat Manchester United. They're finding a bit of form. That game there for me, I'm worried about. With the Man City game, I think it could go either way. Either we could be on the end of a hiding, or we can walk away with a draw. And on a good day, we'll win that game. But ideally, if we can go in for a draw against Man City, beat Liverpool and beat Newcastle, for me, I think we'll win the league.
Yeah, I think the Newcastle game is the one that kind of it's where everything is probably going to be decided. Some people are worried about the Chelsea game. No, absolutely not.
Hey, they're looking to sign Frank Lampard again. And what the hell's going on there, man?
I've got a fair number of Chelsea mates with me, but banter, the banter in that club, mate. Oh my God.
I told them, Harry, post-Roman bums. Nobody believed me.
Oh my God.
The start of the season, I told everyone they were bums before Roman and they're bums now. And that's all that's going to happen. You can throw all the money at it you want. It's not going to work for them.
And the thing is, I don't feel sorry even tiny little bit, man. I'm enjoying every single second after all the stick that they've given us for the last 20 years. Yeah.
Do you know what? The real team in London is stepping forward now and coming back to the forefront. And how good would it be? I'm telling you, if we win the league, you better come down. We're going to be partying if we win the league. Parade.
Yes, and the Southampton game, I'm going to make it happen. It's going to happen. I'm going to arrive in the UK on the 20th. I'm going back to Japan on the 27th. And so I'll be able to catch a City game. Not up there, but in London anyway.
Well, if you want to come down to Manchester bro, just give me a shout and I'm here. So we could try to make it happen. I tried to see if I could get us 2 tickets. It's going to be very difficult, I'll be honest with you. But
it must be, yeah.
I'll try my best to see if I could get us 2 tickets. But look, Harry, I just want to say it's our first show, 30 Mins Arsenal. We hit 30 minutes. This is going to be the first of many. So thank you very much for coming on and being part of this show. Honestly, it's been a pleasure to get to know you over the last, say, year and a half, bro. One of the realest Arsenal fans out there.
Yes, I'm really looking forward to seeing you in person, mate, because I haven't had the great opportunity of actually seeing it in person because I'm always in Japan. Yeah.
It's going to happen. This is what I'm saying. This is what Arsenal does. It brings people together. But people, we have come to the end of the show. 30 Mins Arsenal. Make sure you subscribe here, like this video, go and check out Harry's channel and give him a subscribe as well. And tune in next week, 10 o'clock on Wednesday, and we'll be back again. Peace and love. We'll see you next week.
Come on, Arsenal, get in. Come on.